The Prime Minister, through his great economic leadership, has initiated a renaissance in Australian manufacturing, which means more skilled jobs at higher wages. The coronavirus has reinforced manufacturing self-sufficiency. Visy applauds the Prime Minister's six-sector manufacturing focus, including our two sectors, recycling and clean energy and food and beverage manufacturing. And spurred on by this, Visy is proud to have made the biggest Australian manufacturing acquisition of 2020, a $1 billion deal to make glass bottles. Today we're pledging to invest an additional $2 billion over the next 10 years, which will create thousands of new green-collar, well-paying manufacturing jobs and bring our total investment value in Australia to $11 billion. Now, $380 million of that investment has been brought forward over the next 18 months because of the government's accelerated depreciation policy. It'll be spent increasing the recycled content of glass bottles in Australia from 30% to 70%, including offering councils a glass recycling bin. It will also be reducing landfills by building another clean energy plant in Victoria that runs on paper mill rejects, converting also our Brisbane paper mill to running on paper mill rejects that were previously going to landfill, a drum pulper in Victoria to use waste paper previously going to landfill, and doubling our 100% recycled plastics factory in New South Wales, as well as water recycling projects to reduce water usage at our recycled paper mills by 40%. And these initiatives will not only reduce landfills, but also increase the recycled content of our customers' packaging, which we call remanufactured right here in Australia. So thank you again, Prime Minister, for your great leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Anthony, and to all the wonderful Visy team here in Western Sydney, and indeed right around the country. On Sunday, I joined Jane Malashak, one of Australia's many migrants who have come to this country to get a shot in the arm to give us the boost to come out of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm now joined by Anthony Pratt, one of Australia's great migrant families, and he's given us a shot in the arm when it comes to Australia's comeback, economic comeback from the COVID-19 recovery. Anthony and Visy are a great Australian company, and it's on display around us here. Their vote of confidence in Western Sydney, their vote of confidence in Australia, gives us the great confidence, I think, to continue the economic recovery that is underway in Australia. It is born of both his vision for Australia and how he sees his company's role in the future of this country, as they always have. But as he said, it's also born of the policy settings we've put in place as a government to encourage exactly this type of a commitment and exactly this type of an investment. We just saw yesterday that the non-mining investment figures that we saw coming back in the December quarter shows a turnaround. We saw an almost 5% increase in new investment in plant and equipment. I was with the Advanced Manufacturing Task Force out here in Western Sydney that Melissa has brought together out here in Western Sydney to translate our modern manufacturing strategy on the ground here in Western Sydney. And Visy's announcement today through Anthony just totally backs this in. It backs in the jobs, it backs in the technology, it backs in the investment, it backs in Australia. And for that, Anthony, I'm truly grateful for your belief in where we're going as a country. The other thing it does, though, is it connects with our government's absolute commitment to boost our circular economy industries here in Australia, our recycling industries here in Australia. We are very serious about this. And to see Visy, who is a world leader in the circular economy, here and particularly in the United States as well. And as we learned today, when you use recycled glass, it reduces the amount of energy you need in the process to make those jars and those bottles by 1/3. So it's not only great for the circular economy, it's also great for reducing emissions. So what we see here today is just so many things coming together our belief in Western Sydney, the jobs that are going to come from the economic comeback from the COVID-19 recession. What we see is the policies of the government working to deliver the investment on the ground, to see the investment in new plant and equipment which wins contracts and create jobs. And it sees the investments going into industries that are reducing emissions and making Australia a cleaner and more environmentally sustainable place. That's quite a package, and that is all being brought together. And it's happening here in Australia. We're making things in Australia for a very long time, and we're making them now, and we're going to keep making them in the future. We're making them here in Western Sydney on this very site for a very long time. We're going to keep making them here in Western Sydney as a result of the policies we've put in place. So it's very exciting to be here. I'm, of course, joined by Karen Andrews, the Minister for Industry. She'll speak in a moment. And she has been leading our modern manufacturing strategy. But before I do that, I want to make a comment on another very important issue, and that is the passing of Sir Michael Somare, the first Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea. He has been, over the course of his amazing life, the champion of the sovereignty and independence of the people of Papua New Guinea. I consider the people of Papua New Guinea our family, always have. I have been in contact this morning with Prime Minister Marape, James, my very good friend, and passed on to him and to Lady Veronica our deepest condolences and sympathies for the Papua New Guinean people. There will be great mourning across Papua New Guinea, from the lowlands to the highlands, to the villages to the cities. Sir Michael was an extraordinary man of his generation. He was the light of his generation, which has lighted up the path for Papua New Guineans today and into the future. And so I just want to honour him in his passing and reaffirm Australia's great friendship, more than friendship, our family relationship with the people of Papua New Guinea.